Yeah. Like to welcome you all back to the Stay Talking Ish podcast show. This is your host, Mr. Barksdale.
This is Gus on the ones and twos. Nah, I'm not. There's no ones and twos here.
Yeah. So I know some of you guys got a chance to listen to the preview. You know what I'm saying? And
we had time to reflect on these hoes.
Yeah. So the big question of today, Gus, is can the modern day hoe be reformed?
I think it's possible. I thought deeply about it. I think they can be reformed, but I think they're like a heroin addict. You know, you never know. You know, it could be that day that they just
relapse.
They just relapse.
Me personally, I don't think it's no hope for them. I think that once a woman goes down that path of being a hoe or overly promiscuous or no emotion attached to their sexual activity, I think that they always on that path. It's like a gun. You know what I'm saying? Once you get used to shooting a gun or using a gun, you know what I'm saying? You could put the gun down, but then you'll always pick the gun up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she'll stop being the hoe for whatever reason, but then once the opportunity presents itself to be a hoe again, she'll be a hoe again. So then the question you have to ask yourself is, did she ever stop being a hoe? Or did the wholeness just lay dormant until its opportunity to rear its ugly face again?
Well, you know, like I said, I was in deep thought about it. And I thought, you know, maybe because I can't think like a woman, so I have no idea.
No.
But I started thinking of it as a man. You know, I guess they say it's double standard because we're not considered hoes. Even though at one time I was called a hoe. I just wasn't mad that I was called a hoe. But regardless, I think there comes a time where, you know, your mind takes over and says, you know, I need to settle down. So I think, wow, you still have the ability to be promiscuous. You understand that that's not a good choice and it can mess up, you know, what you have if you married or good relationship or whatever. But I do believe that, you know, like you said, if the man start effing up, there's possibility that hoe cape come back on.
See, this is the clarification that I want to make for my side of thinking, Gus. Like, I think that hoes and good women are born. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like the theory or the trait of whether a leader is born or whether a leader can be made. And it's the same thing with hoes. It's like, I don't think hoes are made. I think hoes are born. I think that whatever the case may be, it's something about this young lady that craves the attention of men. And I think all women want attention from men, but it's a different thing when you go out of your way for the attention of men and even use your body for the attention of men. And so that's why I think that once they open that Pandora's box, they can't never close it. That's just how I feel. And with the subject of double standard, it is a double standard, but it's double standards with everything in life, Gus. And people have to realize and respect it. Like, women get to wear dresses. I mean,
Kanye can wear a dress.
I mean, women get to wear dresses. And so
I think Young Thug wears a dress.
Women get to wear dresses. And so my point is, you have that comfortability of wearing a dress as a woman. As a man, we cannot.
Yeah, I saw like the best quote I ever saw on that. Let me think exactly how it was said. It says, a key that opens any lock is a master key.
That's right.
And a lock that can be opened by any key is a shitty lock.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And you know what? It broke it down, and it was like clear to me after I saw that. I was like, that's like the greatest analogy ever.
And you want to know who came up with that? I seen that meme, and it was if you ever seen Kill Bill, it was Master Pai Mei from Kill Bill. That was the Chinese master that was in the meme. Gotcha. And he was speaking out, and he said, "Yeah, a key that opens every lock is a master key." And so you dealing if a man, I guess, is smooth enough or attractive enough, or he does something well enough to where he can sleep with multiple women. I mean, he's to be commended because it's not supposed to be easy for a man to sleep with multiple women. You understand what I'm saying? It's easy for a woman to sleep with multiple men. I mean, it is easy. If a woman walked in a room with 100 men and just was like, well, listen, I'm trying to get his ass up, who won it? She got a good 97% chance.
Even if she ugly as hell.
Listen, she could be the worst. 20 of them would take it in public. The other 40 will be like, all right, when she go to a room, I'm gonna knock on the door. I don't want nobody to know that I'm a part of that number that wanted it, what she was throwing up in the air. You understand what I'm saying?
Depends on time of day as well.
Yeah, true indeed. But the best thing about it, Gus, while we having this conversation, because I know it's going to be women listening and say, oh, I don't want to hear their misogynistic views. I don't want to hear their sexist views on promiscuous women. They need to talk to some women and have some women give their thoughts. And, we had the opportunity to interview some women. And for the women audience that's out there listening, you'll be highly surprised and shocked at some of the responses from women. I think we should play one of the interviews and let them hear what this young woman had to say.
Well, I will go right ahead, Mr. Barksdale.
A lot of our topics come off of Facebook posts and shit like that. And a female had posted up like, yo, a hoe gonna always be a hoe. You know what I mean? She can't get it off her resume. So yeah, I've called about 7 or 8 anonymous women. Women knew nothing about what was going on, and just asking the question. So I'm giving you the platform. We're recording right now. Can a hoe ever stop being a hoe, or is she a hoe for life?
You know what? I think that one is kind of hard because it's a lot of girls who, they're missing some piece of themselves, and that's why they become this, this hoe per se. And so when that piece is, eventually filled, then you really don't need to be a hoe anymore at that point. So you can kind of feel like, okay, my hoeing days are over. Or either, your pussy that just got ran in so much that at this point it's like, all right, now I just gotta lock it up. But I think, you can definitely revert back and try to be a good girl. But you definitely have to have all those pieces filled in order for you to be able to, not be a hoe anymore. Like, if there's anything that's everlasting, like if a girl's in a relationship and she was a hoe, and this nigga stopped doing any of the things that she needs to complete herself, she's definitely going back to hoeing again.
Okay.
Like, hands down.
So you believe that hoeing is more mentality-based than action-based?
Absolutely, yeah. Because there are some girls that are very primal and they're very, animalistic, where it's just about the sex, it's just about the chase. But a lot of times it's deep-rooted issues that make you become a hoe. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. It's a mental thing that's, it's a way of thinking. It's a whole, it's a lifestyle. So if a girl feels like she's missing something, or if a girl feels like this is the right thing to do, and she's shown otherwise, and that resonates in her, or I don't know what the fan base is that you have, they understand what I'm saying, but if that, kind of sticks with her, and she understands, like, okay, hoeing is not okay, then yeah, she'll definitely be able to turn it around for sure. I have hope in these hoes.
Oh man, you got hope for the hoes, Larry?
I got hope for the hoes. I try to, but you know what though? I'm always trying to save somebody. So
so you Captain Save a Hoe?
Yeah, I definitely.
I'm the Queen Save a Hoe. My bad, not Captain. The Queen.
Queen Save a Hoe for sure.
All right, so
what's the consensus right now? Are they saving these hoes, or are they letting them drown?
I mean, I had a couple.
These hoes is drowning.
I had a couple hardcore that was like, yo, I don't care if you got married for 10 years and you ain't had fucked 2 or 3 different dudes in years. You still a hoe because it's on your resume. So I guess my next question to you is like, so do you think like a drug dealer is always a drug dealer, or like a killer is always a killer, or like a thief is always a thief?
I think it's the same thing. It's the same concept. There's a mentality behind all of your actions. So you might be a killer and you might kill a million niggas, but even if you decide to, claim Christ or whatever you're going to do and you change your life around, you still have that killer way of thinking. You're still watching your back every time you walk into a restaurant. You're still not saying with your back to the door. So you still always will have that, that concept, but it depends on why you became a killer in the first place. If you kill because you needed to eat and now you up and you don't need to eat no more, then you good. What do you need to kill for? Unless you do it for, for the thrill of it. So it's about the mentality behind it. I mean, I think. I'm not a psychologist.
So this is what I'm saying. So for the hoes out here that they stop hoeing, they get married or whatever, or they've been hoeing for a long time, and they just like, they looking at their vagina like it's like a transmission or an engine, and they just gonna go and rebuild the transmission or get a whole new transmission put in there with zero mileage on it. Does that stop their whole physical? Are because there's no miles on the speedometer? Does that mean?
Well, I think what's going to happen is a hoe that's really a hoe is never going to really settle down. So if you really a hoe like like you're describing, then that hoe is never going to probably get married. Like that's something that's always going to be a part of her. So she's not going to want one consistent guy. Like I don't care what he's doing for her. He's never going to be able to satisfy her. So she's not going to commit to that relationship.
Okay.
And she's not going to stick to it.
So you're saying, because I want to just bring it all into one thought. So you're saying that these hoes is hoes because they missing something.
Yeah, they mental is fucked up. That's the problem.
Okay, and because they missing something, then they hoeing to get what they missing.
They could. They definitely could. If they're not getting what they need, they got to have that piece still. So ideally, a hoe is going to always be a hoe because that mentality is going to be there. But it's just like a drug addict. If you get, that fix and you get that piece, removed from yourself, you can give up drugs. But on the same hand, if you get reintroduced and you're not completely healed, you're going to go back to them drugs.
So you're saying a hoe could stop being a hoe, but it's always a chance of relapsing. So then she's always a hoe.
If she's not getting the proper environment, then she can definitely relapse.
So they be needing like a 12-step program.
It's definitely a 12-step program involved in relapse and recovering whole process.
Thanks a lot, man. I'm respecting your view, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. Make sure you listen and tune into our show on psmgradio.com every Thursday.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there live this Thursday.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see you, and we will definitely have some great topics.
Okay.
And get your opinion on a lot of things, and I think it's gonna be a good show.
Say less. I'll be there. So, Gus, how did you feel about her response?
I don't know. I mean, it's she's on both sides of the fence. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's hard to say. I mean, it's nice to hear it from a woman.
I felt like she was more on my side of thinking that at the end of the day, it's the mentality, and they not gonna ever shake the mentality, even if they change physically. They change physically what they doing and how they going about things. The thoughts of hoeing or the thoughts of being a hoe is going to always be there, and they're just suppressing the craving of hoeing.
I mean, I think part of the problem is they don't value the coochie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like a guy. You know what I mean? Guys don't go around saying my penis is only for one person.
Oh, no.
The person that I love.
No.
I have to value my penis.
No. And
so I think it's the same way with these hoes. They just, it ain't in them. It ain't no thing if they give it away.
And they don't understand. I think the big thing they don't understand is like a male's private part is outside of our body. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not looking at it like if I put my penis in you, then you're getting a part of me or nothing like that. We're looking at like, we got this reproductive organ just hanging there, like we might as well use it. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's shaped this way.
Yeah.
We have to find something that's shaped to go around it. So
yeah.
Let's put it there.
Yeah. And women don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? You open up your legs, you open up your vagina, like we're really coming into your world. You know what I mean? Anything you about, we're in you. You understand what I'm saying? And if you're letting multiple people be in you, then that's almost like the difference between living in a gated community and living in like a homeless shelter. Like you can just go, everybody can come and go as they please in the homeless shelter. In a gated community, you got to have the code. Somebody got to buzz you in. Then you still got to get to the door and knock on the door to come in. You know what I'm saying? So I just think they're not guarding themselves and protecting themselves the right way. What I want to do, Gus, is play another interview for the people. Let's let them hear some more opinions from these ladies. So, my question is to you, can a hoe ever stop being a hoe?
Can a hoe stop being a hoe? I think a hoe can stop being a hoe. Reason being is because everybody at some point, if they want to, if they want to change, they'll make a change. So just because she's walking around with a title, she could have been that yesterday, but today, maybe something in her life changed. Maybe she met someone that helped her with that change, or maybe, I don't know, family, life circumstances, or whatever the case may be. It's a mindset. Being a hoe is not something that I want to say maybe born with. No, it's just a mindset. You can always change that.
So you're saying that hoes aren't born hoes. It's not like homosexuality and things like that where people are born with that preference. You're saying that a hoe wasn't born a hoe. She was born a good woman, and then by the time puberty hit, or maybe she had a long-term relationship and got a divorce, then it was like, we're going to turn the fuck up.
I wouldn't say somebody is born a good person. I say when they're born, that person is moldable. So you have life changes and experiences that make you who you are. So she could have had a whole bunch of freaking bad relationships, or freaking friends that was in bad relationships, or maybe she just don't value a man or a woman, whatever she into. And she just maybe out her mind saying, fuck it, I'm going to just run the street, do what I do, and not care about what it looked like. She don't care. Maybe she don't care about herself or her appearance of what it looked like to the person outside looking in. Okay. But at some point, you can grow tired of that lifestyle. It's just like the guy that's a hoe, or freaking somebody that's obese and they just eat all freaking day, all day. At some point in their life, they don't want to stop eating. They don't want to slow down, make a change. Hell, it's either they die or freaking change their diet.
All right, so I'm gonna say a quote to you, and then I want to bring it back to the whole question, because I remember watching the Austin Powers. You ever watch the Austin Power movies?
I did, but they faint though.
And remember the character Fat Bastard? All right, so there's a character on Austin Powers. His name's Fat Bastard.
Okay.
Fat Bastard says, I'm fat because I eat. I eat because I'm sad. And I'm sad because I'm fat. And he says, it's a vicious cycle. So now when we bring this back to hoeing, are you saying that the person is saying, I'm a hoe because of this? And my reaction to this is because of this. And then my reaction to that is that I'm a hoe.
Yeah, I definitely believe that.
So break that cycle down for me. Make that circle for me, in your opinion.
I'll just say I'm a hoe because guys did me wrong.
Okay.
And then you said, all right, so if I put guys did me wrong with something else, and then because of that something else is because I'm a hoe?
So can we say it like this? I'm a hoe because I sleep around. I sleep around because I don't trust guys. I don't trust guys because I'm a hoe. Would that be the circle?
You know what? We did say that.
Would that be the circle?
That is a good circle, because you think about it, once you get on the other side of that lifestyle and you, quote unquote, is promiscuous or a hoe, you see that it's so easy to get guys to participate with you. So it is hard. Now you got trust issues when you do go back to the other side to be a quote unquote good girl. And yeah, you already know that they can easily be persuaded by the next hoe that come in the room. So yes, we can keep that cycle. So
let's say it. So I just want to hear you say it. So in agreement. So we're saying that I'm a hoe because I sleep around. I sleep around because I don't trust guys. And I don't trust guys because I'm a hoe.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So if this said hoe, quote unquote hoe, got married 10 years later, is she still a hoe?
Again, I believe people could change. Maybe that's just me being optimistic. But if the person wants to change, then she can have a new identity. Now, again, I'm sure, like you said, with the whole trust factor in that vicious circle, that guy would have had to have been gone over and beyond the freaking moon and back to win her hand in freaking marriage. Because, again, a hoe ain't going to just get married. They'll continue being a hoe. So if she already has an altar now to get married, then he done did something to help her along with the change. So, no, she wouldn't be a hoe no more getting married.
Okay, so in your opinion, a hoe can stop being a hoe?
A hoe can stop being a hoe.
So, Gus, what you think about the vicious circle?
Yeah, it's sad if the circle is true. You know what
I mean, I guess, and women that's listening gonna be like, this is a bias, but I guess from my standpoint, the circle's true.
It makes sense because a lot of times, I've seen it in real life where a lot of these young girls are taught by the female
that they look up to,
females they look up to, that these dudes ain't shit.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen it in real life. Like, you know, the older women in the family got scorned by dudes so bad that they tell the little girls, like, yo, you can't trust these guys. So they grow up not trusting guys.
Yep.
And in turn, they start doing, acting out in ways, hoish ways, I would say.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't want to give up on the hoes, man. I mean, they're an integral part of the society.
They do play a role. They play a role, and their role is accepted and appreciated. It is. I mean, it's not accepted and appreciated by, I guess, the quote-unquote good girls, but, by men, their role is greatly appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's definitely a place in the society for a hoe.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Like, you gotta think about it. I mean, it might be different nowadays, but, when you were in high school, they served a great purpose. Like,
when you was in college, they served a great purpose.
It's when you're in your 20s and, you get your heart broken. It's like, what do? You go find this.
When you a man, you get your heart broken by your lady, you go to your homies and you say, yo, where the hoes at? Where the hoes at?
No one don't say, where's the respectable young lady?
You don't say, where's the nice women looking to catch me on the rebound? You get with the homies, you throw on your dope outfit, your best watch, your best cologne, you get shaped up and you hit the homies up like, yo, where they at though? Where they at though? You know what I'm saying? So
sad.
So right now, Gus, after 2 interviews, it seems like we got 2 women that at the beginning they were on the fence about whether a hoe could reform, but it did at the end it sounded like no, they can't reform and they won't reform.
I mean, I believe, man, they can be saved by the blood of the Lamb.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to argue the blood of the Lamb. I'm just going to say they're going to continue doing whatever they're doing, saved or not saved.
I tried to set you up with that one.
I know.
You ain't fall for it.
So I want to play another interview for the people and get another opinion from a young lady on whether the modern day hoe can be reformed. Can a hoe stop being a hoe, son?
I think it depends on the level of wholeness. I think like full blown hardcore don't know how to do nothing else but hoe. I think they can try, but eventually that shit is gonna come out. That's like they're just gonna marry her and be all in love, and then like 2-3 years down the line, niggas be sick, ready to kill everybody because he done found out she done humped all the homies. The second kid not really his. Like, I don't think if they like hardcore, I don't think it's gonna last long. They can try, but if it was a chick who's trying, like not trying, but she was sort of kind of a hoe.
Hold up, what's sort of kind of a hoe?
Sort of kind of like, it's not that they really need to be a hoe, but they kind of weak in their mind that they can get talked out of the draw. Like, so, like, they don't even mean to be a hoe, but they just, in their mind, every nigga they talk to is in love with them, and that's going to be their new dude. It's really going to work out this time. But because they do that so often, like, they don't even realize, you might be on the whole side now. Like, I don't know. It depends on the level.
So you saying that some women can be coerced into whole life?
Exactly.
And then once they coerced into whole life, they can't really get out of whore life?
I don't want to say they can't get out of it, but I feel like depending on how bad it got or how deep they got into whole life, they might have to like relocate, go a couple cities away, bring a couple states away type of thing. Especially if they're in a small town, like everybody knows. Like, oh, you heard about such and such? Oh, straight name ringing bells. You go in a barbershop, you miss the shit name. I know her. Oh, you have that too? Like, shit be getting crazy. So if it's on that level, bro, you gotta leave state. You might go down south, start a whole nother family and all that type of shit.
So you believe like hoeing is like gangbanging, and the only way you can get out of gang life is to die or move away. So she gotta like to stop being a hoe. She gotta die or move away.
Move away or get old and become saved. So she gotta be saved. Like she can't turn Muslim or turn Jewish. She just gotta get saved by Christ. Listen,
Only Christ.
Only the power of Christ can save her.
This is what I've noticed, what I've seen. What can save a hoe from not being a hoe no more? One, they become lesbian.
Oh shit! So they get God.
So they straight like they ran through all the freaking eggplants they can. Now it's like they get turned out by the lady love, and they become lesbian. Mm-hmm. That's option number one. Mm-hmm. Option number two, they can move away. Option number three, like, they just single or, like, just they chilling. When they become older, they become saved and they just all in the church life.
So if she got married and 10 years later, is she still a hoe?
It's crazy. I had this conversation with my homegirls last night, and they were saying, I think Drea Mitchell was like, yo, your wholeness can be erased. I'm like, the way I see it can be erased or it can be forgotten about. Like, at the end of the day, nothing, like, people are not going to talk about you forever. Like that's like fucking in high school. Like, oh, such and suck some dick in the back hallway. Like, at the end of the day, niggas, so it's like, we still know, but niggas ain't talking about it. It's just known. Like, yeah, she used to be a hoe back in the day. She turned her life around. I don't feel like it's going to last forever. You can, like I said, it depends on the level of wholeness you've been involved in. Like, if you deep into the game, like, that shit's just a way of life for you. You don't know nothing else but fucking doing dirt. Like, if it gets to the point where, like, I've seen chicks that been hoeing and they done got talked out of the draw so much, now they start doing a little porn and shit. Or chicks are doing that fucking Instagram booty model shit. Like, I ain't saying that's at every case, but I've seen chicks go from the hoeing leads to other shit. So I don't know. Sometimes it can be a come up, and sometimes it can be a chick's downfall.
So
I guess it depends on the chick.
So one last time for the road. This the definitive answer. Can a hoe ever stop being a hoe?
I'm gonna say yes, but there's always that one.
There's always chance of relapsing. It's like an addiction.
Right.
All right. Thanks, baby sis.
All right.
Gus.
Yes, Barksdale.
This young lady just said to us that hoeing was like a gateway drug, and it led to other levels of hoeing. What do you think of that?
I think it can be.
Yeah.
I think you wind up getting to that next level of wholeness once you like realize how much of a hoe you've been. It's sort of like well, I've hoed this bad, why
I might as well get paid for it. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I think you just have to, like she said, you got to move away, man. You got to move down south,
or get saved. You said that, the blood of the lamb. Damn.
I mean, I'm sad because these are women, man.
These are women's opinion. I just want to make that clear. Like, we sit here and we two men and we talking about this. And of course, this situation crossed my mind, crossed everybody's mind because we men. And unfortunately, because you're a man, you're not going to ever birth just all boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all going to have daughters, and the question is, if your daughter ever get these type tendencies, she just out here wilding, like, what can we ever reel her in and get her to stop? And it just sounds like from what the ladies are saying, we got to damn near throw our daughter off the roof.
You just gotta get them protection, man. You just gotta make sure they don't get nothing they can't get rid of.
Mm-hmm. Or raise them right. You know what I'm saying? Raise them like what it really mean to be loved by a man, and it don't got nothing to do with your body. You know what I'm saying? And if we not teaching them that as men, I mean, what these ladies are saying, that's the result of it, in my opinion.
Man, and not only for I do feel bad for the ladies because a lot of times they are broken down.
Yeah.
And that's the only way they can get attention.
Yeah. And that's sad.
I mean, it's sad. At one time, I still would have took advantage of that, though. But
I mean,
I also
we wanted the attention that they were giving out. You know what I'm saying? So, Gus, I think we should let the audience hear another interview from one of these young ladies and hear other opinions on this topic. And by all means, to all the audience that's listening, give us some feedback, especially young ladies. I know y'all probably listening to this and y'all feeling heated and y'all might not agree. Y'all on the Instagram, y'all on the SoundCloud, y'all on the Facebook. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think, And for the women that might be reformed hoes, you don't have to stand up and say I'm a reformed hoe, but give us some feedback and let us know. People that have been reformed hoes, tell us their story. We like to know because I mean
we can spread the word.
Yeah, because
other hoes.
Yeah, because right now it's just in a situation where we just feeling like it's no hope for them, and it would be nice to hear some testimonies.
Barksdale, there's a hoe right now. Listen to this podcast when doesn't know what to do, and we want to reach out to them.
Yes, and we want to give some tips to stop the wholeness. We got some feedback from one valued listener who said, give some tips to do things better. Give some thoughts on how things could be better. And so, of course, me and Gus is going to give some tips, but for the people listening, give some tips as well.
For the price of a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could save a starving hoe.
Yes, you can. You could save this hoe's life and bring her back into the light of prosperity.
Send your donations to 1-800 Stay Talking Ish
podcast show. We need it. Guys, let's get
10% of these proceeds will go to saving a hoe.
That's it. And the other 90 to Stay Talking Ish. Can a hoe ever stop being a hoe?
Yeah. Yeah. I say yeah, just because, I mean, it takes somebody special to deal with somebody that already has a past. And when that hoe finds somebody like that, she changes her ways. Well, if you hoeing, it's all about sex. When you find somebody that appeals to your emotional and mental, it's totally different.
So, for you, in your opinion, hoeing is not action-based, it's mentality-based.
No, hoeing is action-based. If you hoeing, you fucking.
Uh-huh.
But if you find somebody that appeals to other than your sex, then you're more likely, you know? That's my opinion on it.
All right, so if a chick was a hoe, like 70 dudes knocked her off, and the whole neighborhood know about it. So you're saying if she got married and 10 years later, is she not a hoe anymore? She not a hoe no more?
Yes, exactly.
All right, so basically your answer is all it takes is for her to change her ways, and she's not a hoe no more.
Yeah, I mean, everybody got a past.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a past. So, I mean, just because I got a past don't mean that's exactly who I am.
Understood. All right, thanks, baby sis. That's all I needed.
All right.
All right. So, Gus, we found one that actually believes that all a hoe has to do is change her ways, and she's not a hoe no more. We found one who believes that being a hoe is more action-based and has nothing to do with the mentality of the female. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I support it, man. I hope that's true. I still kind of agree with the Scarlet Letter, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I guess they're not a hoe anymore, but I mean, I guess no, they are. It's sort of like the president. Like when the president is no longer the president,
you're still the president. You understand what I'm saying? You still address him as President George Washington, and he hasn't been the president in eons.
You just gotta move. You know what I mean? Just find a whole set of other people that don't know your hoish ways, and
it might work out for you.
I'm pretty sure it can. You know, just don't start, the hoeing over again.
But to see, the crazy thing about hoeing is if you was a hoe in New York and then you moved to Atlanta, once you get settled in Atlanta, you a hoe again.
Well, not if you don't, you don't go back to your hoish ways. Like if a crackhead don't smoke crack no more.
You're still a crackhead.
Eastside crackhead.
Still a crackhead. Like if you ever go to like those Alcoholics Anonymous meetings or those Narcotics Anonymous meetings, it be people in those meetings who haven't done drugs in 10 years. But they say, I continue to come to these meetings because I know at any time I'll relapse, and this is the community that keeps me sober. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, well, hoeing, she could move down to Atlanta, but if she moves down to Atlanta and people, places, and things trigger her wholeness, she's right back to hoeing.
You can't move to Atlanta. That's not a good spot. Yeah, you gotta move to like Arkansas.
If she moves to Arkansas and she gets in the right crowd, she's right back to hoeing.
Man, I just want to believe, man. I just want to believe.
I don't want to sound pessimistic about this, but
you sound pessimistic about
that's just what I feel, man. That's just what I feel. That's just what I've seen. Like Gus, man, I know hoes that's married, and
it's sad seeing those dudes smiling at pictures.
They still hoeing. Yeah. Or they've gotten married. They've changed their people, places, and things. Like they don't run in the same circle no more. They try not to make contact with the same people that reminds them of their whole life. But as soon as the opportunity comes for them to step out of this new realm that they've made for themselves, they right back at it. Word is born. That's how I feel. But, I don't want to keep putting my misogynistic view on it. Gus, let's play another interview.
I think we got one more. Hold on. Let's see. We got one more.
Can a hoe ever stop being a hoe?
Yes,
Tell me how.
because a hoe is a lost woman,
Okay.
but she has to figure out that she's lost.
Okay.
And once because she's looking for something. The thing is, she doesn't know that. That's why she's lost.
Mm-hmm.
If she can figure out the source of her hoe and that search, that constant search,
Mm-hmm.
sure she can be reformed.
If you had to give some advice to any hoes that might be listening to this podcast, what would you want to say to them?
That she will never find in other people what she ultimately needs to give to herself.
Ah, wisdom.
This is way too inspirational.
Yeah, you out here giving insight to these hoes.
This is too smart for our level of podcast.
So, all right, I appreciate your opinion on this. You know, I thought you was gonna get ratchet, but you didn't.
No, because that's a real problem.
And
That's a real problem. That shit bothers me. And I used to judge hoes, but now I feel sorry for them.
And why did you judge hoes?
Because I just didn't want to be associated with them.
And why not?
So I would look down my nose at it because that's not a good badge to wear.
No, it's not.
You can try and make it look cool as you want, but it's not. It's never, anything you should be proud to want to be.
So let me ask you a question. You ever saw Austin Powers movies?
Yes,
And you remember the character Fat Bastard?
of course.
So remember how Fat Bastard was saying, like, I'm fat because I eat, and I eat because I'm depressed, and I'm depressed because I'm fat?
Right.
So do you believe, like, the whole cycle is I'm a hoe because I don't trust dudes, and I'm a hoe because I fuck around, and I fuck around because I don't trust dudes, and I don't trust dudes because I'm a hoe? Is that a fair synopsis?
Some women trust dudes if they have daddy issues. They looking to be taken care of. They looking to be made whole.
So if they got daddy issues, could that be a trust issue as well?
Definitely. I mean, it's a trust issue. It's a self-esteem issue.
So going back to the circle, would the daddy issue fall under I'm a hoe because I don't trust dudes?
I'm a hoe because I don't know better.
So your circle would be.
I would say they don't know better.
So you saying that they a hoe because they don't know better?
They don't know better.
All right. So hold on. So if we said it correctly, would it be they a hoe because they fuck around? They fuck around because they don't know better, and they don't know better because they a hoe.
That's right. They don't know better. They don't know that short night, that little bit of attention that dude paid you, that you feel so high, that you spent all day getting dressed, to look a certain way to get that attention. They don't realize that for that moment, it's not going to last.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be out the next weekend doing the same thing to get that feeling.
Mm-hmm. So they like addicted.
And then the guy won't ever respect you, but he may pay you attention. And women confuse affection with attention. They confuse love with lust.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still enough to fulfill that need.
So let me ask you, do you know any reformed hoes?
Sure. Honestly, most women are hoes until the right man comes along.
And you're saying that's 90% of them are hoes because you're scaring me.
Yep.
So how do we find that 10%, or we just don't?
Well, you're going to have to change the rest of them, too. The rest are savable, but it takes the right guy.
Gus said that it only takes the blood of the lamb to save them hoes.
Yeah, because I told you they lost. They don't know better.
And only the blood of the lamb could save them. I'm just
It's going to take a lot. It ain't going to be easy because you got generational hoes. Your mama was a hoe. Your grandma was a hoe.
Your great grandmama was a hoe.
Exactly, was a hoe, and they laugh about it. You know, like my grandma was a hoe, and my family laughs about the shit. She ran a whorehouse, and she ran a whorehouse. All my fucking uncles and shit got different parents if they know who the hell they are.
That's sad.
Tell me about it.
So you just come from a
And then so my dad is fucked up because he don't know how to respect women. Because look at the example that my grandma left for him.
So
he didn't take care of him. He was in and out the system. He didn't. I grew up in a nuclear family: mom, dad, cable, you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
He didn't grow up like that, so he made sure I didn't. But you see how I could have turned out.
So the result of whores not reforming is they give birth to men who don't respect women.
Definitely. And my dad was a hoe.
Well, men.
Oh my God.
Well, men can't be hoes.
Whatever. It's just.
So you know. Thanks a lot for your opinion on this topic.
Yes. Yeah.
And you scaring me with the all women was hoes.
Sorry.
I'm still gonna live in my fairy tale land.
I'm gonna live in my fairy tale land too. That
everybody except the ones I know are hoes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sleep good at night.
Makes me feel warm inside.
Yeah, it makes me feel all cozy. It makes
when J. Cole said you got to multiply by 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember that.
All right. That's for a reason.
I'm gonna remember that though.
Yeah, sorry.
Not
me.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, not me.
Yeah.
Now somebody.
that was not you. That was not you.
Now somebody want to be part of the 1%.
Yeah,
I felt comfortable enough to tell you the truth. Now, if I didn't, you would have got a divisor.
Yeah, you talk about you come from a whole.
No.
You come from a whole generation institutionalized hoeing.
It skipped a generation.
It skipped.
I have done the where I have like you could tell where like a guy is put off. Oh yeah, but we were talking in a comfortable space.
No doubt.
Okay.
All right, baby girl, enjoy your day.
All right.
It don't sound good, but I still want to have faith that, you know, that like, especially since, you know, we were just told it was like up to 90% of women have been hoes at one time.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. And then when the young lady spoke on like it running in the family, like having a older family member that ran a whore house and having a family member raised around that type of lifestyle. And I guess, at the beginning of this podcast, when we was talking before we played the interviews, I was hard on the fence that a hoe can't be reformed. But I'm gonna be quite honest, like at this point in time, just thinking about it, especially with that last interview, it got me feeling like I'm hoping that hoes can be reformed, because these are the women that's birthing our new men leaders.
I mean, you gotta figure this is and at some point, I mean, even if hopefully they ain't hoes no more, they still get married to dudes, and I don't want all these dudes walking around married to hoes, and then they gonna get their heart broke. And it's just a vicious cycle.
And then you raising men who don't respect women. It's the same men that women want attention from, so they have to disrespect themselves to get in good standing with the man that don't respect them already.
You know, it just be easier. Just abstain from sex until you get married. Let's just do that.
I'm not even going to say that much. I'm just going to say
this is too complicated.
Like, for the fathers out there that got daughters, raise your daughters to respect themselves. Set the standard for the type of men your daughter should want to interact with.
Yeah, tell them they beautiful. So somebody else don't have to.
That's right. Tell them they beautiful. Tell them that they worth more than any amount of money in the world. You know, kick it with them. Don't just buy their clothes and leave them alone. Like really have a good daddy-daughter relationship with them. Because if not, then they looking for that relationship from older men in the streets, or they looking for that relationship from young men in the streets, and they not going to get that.
Oh, they going to get something.
They're going to get something, but they're not going to get what they looking for, when all the while what they was looking for should have been in a household.
They're going to get young Barksdale.
Yeah, young Barksdale was a heathen. And when I'm
Gus was a good guy. I was a great guy. I was very holy.
No. And I guess to wrapping this podcast up, I guess this is a point in time where I'm just directing my last statements to the men that's listening. This ain't even to the women. You know, if you felt offended by the topic of this conversation, I apologize, but it's a real conversation. And men, I'll be quite honest. I'm not going to say that we the reason why it is hoes, but what I will say is if we don't raise our daughters right, we not in our daughters' lives, we not changing the culture of what women or what young girls perceive to be important compared to what is important, then hoes will never reform. The whole one will never stop. You'll never nip it in the bud before it starts.
All right, man. I think we had enough, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely got a lot of input from the women.
Yes.
So we don't have to listen to all the comments about, it was just us and how misogynistic we were. Did say hoe one too many times. I have to admit.
The topic of the show is hoes. We know the difference between respectable women, hoes, bitches, smuts, and ladies. You know what I'm saying? And
smuts are even worse.
Smuts
just have no self-esteem.
Oh, let me chill. So I'd like to thank all y'all for tuning in.
Next week we're talking about smuts.
No, we ain't. I like to thank all y'all.
And no, smuts cannot be reformed at all. It's over. It's over for a smut.
Oh God,
a smut.
I like to thank all y'all for tuning in.
Can't come back from smuthood.
I like to thank all y'all for tuning in to the Stay Talking Ish pod show.
Once you're a smut, you just fucking kill yourself.
This is your host.
Shoot yourself.
Ish Barksdale.
If your daughter's a smut, just ban her from the house. She's not allowed over for Thanksgiving.
With my overzealous co-host Gus.
I'm sorry, you bring up smuts. I had flashbacks.
Thank y'all for listening, man. Please give us your feedback. Stay Talking Ish, SoundCloud. Stay Talking Ish on Instagram. Stay Talking Ish on Facebook. Follow us.
StayTalkingIsh.com.
Yes,
site went live.
StayTalkingIsh.com. We got the website up and going. Yo, rock with us, man. We trying to do big things, man. Peace.